Hey everybody, welcome to Phantom Brigade. This is a turn-based tactical game that is sort of taking place in small chunks of real time, but also like there's a timeline that you're planning on. It's really a neat system, and I feel like we're just going to dive in right from the start here. There are difficulty things that you can adjust, but there's not preset difficulties. And so I feel like tinkering with these right now feels a bit weird if we don't know how it all works. So we're gonna leave everything, but if we need to make adjustments, we will do that. If you guys could, this is the first in the series, the first video in the series, if you could drop a like on it, that would help me a lot.
Sorry to strap you in so early today, Lieutenant, but we'll have to cut our checks short. We've lost the town comms last night, and I'd like you to take a look at the tower we have half a click north from here.
Okay, so it looks like we have to go through the tutorial, which I've already done, but it's pretty quick. Basic controls, moving the camera around, tilting the camera up and down. You can also just hold mouse button 3 or middle mouse to do it, so that's fine. Select our unit with left mouse. This is cool. We're going to learn a little bit about more detail of all these icons in a bit. So I'm not going to complicate it too much here. These are the different body parts of the mech and their associated strengths. Left click to open the action list. We're going to select run. Now this is going to get expanded pretty quickly once we get out of the tutorial. We're going to start running over here. And then we're going to execute the plan. So this has stripped away the timeline that we're going to get introduced to.
Hey, Lieutenant. They're still installing the prototype in my rig, so don't hog all the action till I catch up.
Yes, it's not the most exciting test run of our new tech, but we've got people here counting on us, so let's move out. Whoa, what happened here? Probably just some damn rowdy civilians. HQ, this is Special Field Ops Team Bravo requesting immediate repair detail, over.
This is HQ. Negative, Commander. Repair detail busy until further notice. Stand by.
What could they be busy with? Well, let's see if we can't do a little more recon. Boot up that shiny new device Ops installed in your rig and we'll see what she's made of.
Okay, so here comes the prediction system. This is where our timeline gets involved. And the way I'm kind of describing this is a game of these epic battles that play out over these 5-second chunks of almost micro-planning them. And you're going to get to see what the enemy's doing, but then also plan your actions accordingly. It's a pretty cool system. So here's the hotbar that displays the actions available to the unit. We have a wait button, and then we have a movement button right now.
I'll move to scout one side of the tower. If she's warmed up, you should be able to see where I'm moving and flank the opposite side.
Okay, so this unit is moving on its own right now. That doesn't generally happen in the actual missions. This is just a tutorial thing. But we can see as we progress through the timeline, you can either follow the line up here or you can move through the timeline at the bottom. You're going to see what that unit's going to do. Now, this is saying we want to wait until he's in a certain position. So by moving your mouse further away from your guy, that's basically a time inference that it is saying you're going to wait this amount of time. You can also see the bar in the timeline get bigger. So we're going to go here, and we're saying we're waiting basically this amount of time, okay? Then we're going to select the run action, and that takes place after the time. We're going to say, okay, then we're going to start going here, okay? Movement time is determined by distance. You can move any number of times. Actions can be canceled with 2 right clicks. If you're happy with the plan, you can execute it. So you can timeline scrub here to kind of see what that's going to look like. And it gets pretty crazy once you start using like 3 mechs and you start shooting and layering this timeline. It gets pretty cool. So we're just going to execute. He's going to move. Now we should start taking off there. Very cool. Out of the tutorial, we can control the playback speed as well.
An unmarked tank. And no transponder. What the hell? Is this some surprise war games maneuver? HQ, we have an unmarked non-cooperative tank at location 2SBR15. Confirm intent, over. HQ, confirm, over. Lieutenant, I'm getting a heat signature from the tank's power core. Check your prototype. If that tank even twitches, cripple it.
I would love nothing more, sir. Okay, the tank is about to attack. You'll need to get closer to engage it. Select the run action. So just very quickly before we do that, look at how you can follow the path of that. You can follow this path. It's really quite intuitive to see what's going to happen. You can also go on the timeline as we talked about. And then you can also see he's got sight on our ally over there. And over here, boom, there's like a possible collision. So the tank is about to attack. You'll need to run closer to engage it. Select the run action. Let's drop it in here. Now notice the targeting circles or the optimal range circles here. There's like a kind of an outer, almost a central ring, if you will. There's like the middle ring and then one ring outside. That's your optimal range. And so by being here, this guy's going to be within that optimal range. And then we can start attacking. Now, first we want to choose when the attack should happen by hovering over the timeline. Target should be in the optimal range, the white ring here. See the distance between these, where my mouse is. So as we move, let's watch here. You'll see he's now in optimal range, about here. So I can click in the timeline to enter that. And then we want to say we're targeting here. This is 89% in terms of how optimal it is, which is fine. That's going to increase as he gets closer. You can see the 100% there. So let's do this. You can drag the attacks on the timeline to change the time if we want. More than one attack can be planned. So let's throw another attack in here. And I'm going to throw this like right after. If you overlap them, it'll tell you you're overlapping. Secondary actions cannot overlap, such as attacks. However, units can attack and move at the same time. So I'm going to place this here. Now, you are going to have to be concerned about heat and make sure that you're not overloading your heat, but I don't think that's a thing in this opening tutorial. So that's going to change things pretty dramatically once we get in there. So now let's just execute the plan and we should see how it plays out accordingly. And then he ran into him. Now, this guy is like a heavy mech.
On the tank. I'm hit, but just a scratch. What? I'm picking up multiple targets from the north. My God, this can't be right. Take cover! Take cover!
So based on your mech size, you might be able to handle impacts like that. New contacts are out of range. Try taking cover to protect the unit from damage. Okay, now we're talking, baby. So you can see this guy way down here. So we're gonna move. And this guy's still being autonomous, right? It wants us to move way back here in order to get into cover. So let's go ahead and do that. There's not really anything else to do from this situation. So let's just let it go.
Commander, multiple contacts just appeared on our forward slope. Weapons ready.
Treat us hostile. This is not a drill. Intercept and protect the town. We're on our way.
Roger, heading out.
HQ, come in. HQ, do you read? Pinned down by 2 treads. Returning fire. Got one. Shit, a walker. Lieutenant, get the...
Commander! Commander! Taking defensive position. The commander's down, but we have to focus. We have citizens to protect.
I like the little effort that they put into
There's a walker and multiple treads on
cinematics
approach.
and stuff.
Remember, if things go to hell, set self-destruct and punch out, so they can't salvage our prototype. Whatever happens, let's meet at evac point R09.
Okay, R09. Got it. Enemy forces are attacking the town. Eliminate them using the 3 units at your disposal. So it's going to give us a little overview of what each of these guys are best at. So this unit here is a light mech. It's carrying an assault rifle and a submachine gun. That's this guy here. It's best equipped for medium range. Circle the enemy and take advantage of its speed to avoid hits. Fair enough. we've got this guy who's carrying a heavy beam weapon. It's slow but powerful, but beams can cut through cover and hit multiple units at once. And it's 3v6 here, keep in mind. And then this guy's got a shotgun, which inflicts high damage at close range. Now, again, not to get too deep yet, but if you look over on the right, there are different damage types. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but for now, we're just gonna kind of keep things going here. So you can tab through units. One thing I would like is to have an option to only tab through your own units, because you do have to tab through all of the enemies as well. But either way, this guy, we need to get in close. The problem with that is we can't really go between these two houses. This is going to take basically a whole move to get in closer. I guess we could just sit here for now, but you can see his optimal range circles are pretty small. I could try running right up here, but I feel like he's definitely going to take some damage. But what we'll do is we'll leave him there, and we'll throw up a shield somewhere around... Yeah, maybe he will be fine just looking at, like, those enemy sight lines. Maybe that won't be an issue, but we'll throw up a shield here that he can kind of direct towards a certain area. And let's direct it towards this guy. That's fine. And then do we have space for an attack at the end? If I just plop this here, this guy's in pretty solid range there. And I could even have him, like, wait a bit if I wanted to. I could move this run up and then go in, but I think that's fine. So our next unit here, this is the light mech carrying an assault rifle and submachine gun. I'm probably going to want to stay back just a little bit more. So let's sit here, and then we'll start an attack when that guy enters that optimal range. We're going to attack the same unit, I think. So 84 is fine. And because we don't have to worry about heat dissipation in this tutorial, I'm going to just do a follow-up attack. Normally, you're not going to be able to do 2 attacks like this. You're going to have to spread these out considerably more until your weapons get upgraded. And then we've got the beam here, which can cut through cover. So let's move into... I guess this is some level of cover. This is fine. Or I could go up here, maybe. Just kind of keep him running the whole time. Let's see how that looks, and then we'll do his beam attack. If you look in the bottom right, emits a 5-second beam strong enough to bisect buildings, extremely difficult to rotate while firing, so units must move to stay on target. So that's kind of an interesting little tidbit there. Let's see if I could start targeting. If I target the unit in the back, these guys may cross in front. I don't know if that's going to work out like that. But let me just move this so it finishes in the whole turn. And I think we just execute this and see how she goes. I guess one concern I might have here that can be a problem. Just checking when we're going to start attacking. Because your guys can run in front of this and cause some problems there. So that looks like it's going to be fine. So he should start beaming, which he is, but... Yeah, so that's cool. He's still hitting those targets. This guy's taking pretty decent... Oh, we got him. Pilot's actually deceased in this guy. So that's cool. Now we can do a little replay if we wanted, which is nice. And then we have some extra timers on that replay. We can pause and move our timeline around, but we don't need to do too much of that right now. So let's go into our next planning phase. Okay. So... Where's shotgun guy? Right here. Shotgun and shield. So this dude is gone. That's excellent. These guys look like they're going to continue coming out here, but this guy's coming across, and he looks like he's going to go for a targeted shot around here. He's going to start firing. So we could try the shield again earlier in this timeline, and we'll target there. So shield, shield. Maybe I even do an extra one. I don't know how effective that is yet, but... Then we'll start blasting when he gets much closer. That's fine. This unit. And I'll see if I can do an extra one here at the end. Okay, I can't. In outside of the tutorial, you can overlap into the next turn a bit. It'll just kind of remove some of the effectiveness, if you will. Now, from here, these guys are entering our optimal attack range, so I don't feel the desire to move out of here, I don't think. I'm going to start shooting this guy here, and we'll just set up a few extra attacks in the timeline and keep pummeling here. Because, again, don't have to worry about heat yet, but I'm going to have to at some point. And then this guy is coming in for an attack over there too, but that's fine. As far as I can tell right now, there's not a way for me to figure out how much damage is going to be necessary. I'm going to take these 3 shots, let that go, and then focus over here as he approaches for that kind of final instance. And then here, what I might do is just fire. And just see how this beam acts. Get a little bit more information here. Let's start firing here. And just let her rip. Okay. So he's turning, and now he's got laser beam pretty well locked on there. Not bad. It's probably better to be hitting these guys when they're fully in position with that laser. So this guy is still... Okay, right side is crashed. This dude is still a problem. Okay, shotgun and shield. Let's see. I think we're safe to just, like... I'm going to kind of just beeline through here and cause mayhem. I don't really want to run into anybody. But if I'm here, then both of those guys are in my optimal range. So when he hits this spot, let's take a shot there. Oh, it looks like we're running right through this. Is that going to be a problem? So if I look here, this is the heavy. Heavy units crash upon collisions with other heavy units, but remain stable when colliding with light and medium units. So this guy here... Let's check what he is. He is a light unit, so that's fine for us. We're okay with that. Maybe getting a little bit more advanced than necessary, but that's okay. Then we're going to start targeting there. We'll set up another attack here, and let's start causing some extra mayhem by running out in this direction. And you can start attacking. Let's see. This isn't bad. Start attacking in this area. He's in optimal range. We'll do a couple attacks there. And that guy's going to be down there. But if you notice, I'm overlapping that. So that's a little bit more precarious. So what I'll do is we'll have this guy do the attack here. And hopefully that'll be enough to just finish everything. We'll see. Okay, that dude went down pretty quick. This dude's still taking damage. Yeah, there we go. That was sick. That was sick. That was cool. Good job, squad. Now, it will get significantly harder.
Almost at the cliff. Go, go, go!
Once we start dealing with heat.
Into the forest! If anyone can hear me, we have people counting on us to retake what they've taken from us. Even if we are the last ones left.
I haven't seen the cinematics yet, so this is neat.
There's nothing more we can do here.
Is it finally time for some shut-eye?
No. Not today.
Oh yeah, we got problems. Big ones. Or are we the problem?
By the time we realized what was happening, it was too late. We were at war. The border towns and cities were hit first, communications cut, and residents chased from their homes. In their place, they erected military outposts that still watch us to this day. We fought back, and for a while, we even held down the capital. But we were outmaneuvered and outnumbered, outgunned. Eventually, those of us who didn't surrender had to escape. For years, the government has operated in exile. Along with the Home Guard, the remaining remnants of our country's military, they have been fighting tirelessly against impossible odds. But they can't do it alone. We answer to no one, nothing but the call. And now, after years of training, preparing, waiting, the Phantom Brigade is coming home.
Very cool. Feels like the end of a Transformers movie, you know? Oh, everyone's safe now. But it's not. We're only just beginning. People will die. And I'm here for it. Welcome home, Brigade. You peer out at the vast stretch of land before you. Your home, now a battleground. It's familiar as an old friend with its deceptively quiet mountains and fields. At your back, your crew awaits your orders. You need supplies, parts, and a place to bunker down. A pilot points to a spot on the map directly ahead of you. Felheim Base, which once belonged to the homeland in the days before the war. It will belong to you again. Acknowledge. All right, so we have this like world map thing as well, and maybe at some point there's multiple mechs you could be sending out into different places. We have 2 active mechs in our squad right now, and we're just trying to get back to Felheim Base. So objectives are up over here. We can adjust the speed. Right mouse button to the site to move to it. If you're ever lost, press tab to return to the base. Let's go. So things will kind of pop up over time as we're doing this stuff. We can, of course, speed this up, like I said. Hope rises in Felheim. Felheim Base, once a mining facility, later retrofitted as an emergency storage depot. Then the invaders came, and like everything else, it fell into enemy hands. You're thinking it too, right? Asks your pilot, grinning. If we can capture the facility, we'd have a home base to fall back to if we needed to, or if we needed it. It would get us a foothold in the province and hit them hard while we're at it. It's an opportunity you can't pass up. The battles ahead will challenge you in the shape the country's future. You need to take every advantage you can get, and it all starts with Felheim. Let's suit up. We're going right back in, baby. Okay. Is that an intact crawler? I think we struck gold here. Finally a way to repair and refit these rusty mechs. I can't wait to take it for a spin. Bravo 1, we're seeing 2 mechs approaching from the west. That's the enemy here. Requesting immediate support. I'm getting a negative response to my IFF. Treat these walkers as hostile. I do wish that everything was voice acted, but not everything is. More enemies incoming. Use cover to avoid damage and eliminate enemies quickly to keep things under control. Use this corner to track objectives, turns remaining until enemy reinforcements, and other mission information. So the goal just right now, eliminate all the hostiles. Take the enemy units out quickly before reinforcements arrive. Got it. Okay, so we've got the assault rifle mech and we have the shotgun mech. Now we also have different people inside of the mechs, and we can customize their look and with their names and stuff like that. I don't know if the pilots have any type of attributes that matter other than looks, but we can dive into that a little bit more when we get to the base. Okay, so shotgun and shield mech. If we look at the shield, the way that it works is you raise the shield to deflect attacks in a specified direction. It increases the weight class of the unit. He's already a heavy, so I don't know if that has an impact here, but I assume if you put this on like a medium unit, that would take them up to a heavy for that portion. So maybe then your impacts could be a little bit more valuable, which would be kind of cool. It absorbs directional damage and protecting certain parts of the unit. You can see that in the bottom right. There's a lot of detail there, okay? So these guys are moving out. This guy's coming here, and this guy is the only one that looks like it's going to be a potential issue. What I'm wondering is, can I come up beside it and just start pummeling? I think so, but I could probably, well, even there, that's not going to work that well. I think our best bet is to come up here and take a shot when it's in close like that. And then I'll continue over to that side and maybe finish up the attack that way. I could even start shooting there. So if I set up an attack, I can just do this and I can drag this back. Now it's showing us the heat thing. So keep an eye on the timeline and the heat indicator. Space attacks to let the heat dissipate and avoid damage. And this is pretty intuitive. I'll just show you a quick example. If I set this up here, let's target this. It's going to show you this massive overlap, and our unit will take damage because we're overheating. So then you can start dragging this to spots where you don't see that anymore. Now, optimally, we want this much closer to increase our chance of hitting. These are going to be subsequent attacks, which means I'll probably just end up canceling this and making sure that we don't overheat. I'm going to add an additional run to come over here and take cover and just kind of keep our movement a little bit more fluid. So we're going to start attacking in this area. That seems pretty decent. I could maybe even drag this like so. So our optimal range is a little bit higher there. So I think that's okay. And then longbow here, or Nadia, let's maybe just take cover behind this thing for now. And then we'll start attacking when this guy gets here. And that's going to take a while. So I won't be able to get another attack in there without generating heat. So let's just let this one go. We're going to get some decent attacks off. I can slow this down to like half speed if we wanted. Over time, see, notice he took damage from his own buddy there. Shotgun coming in. That's beautiful. We'll run this up to full. That's fine. Okay, so unit crashing. Let's see. Reinforcements are coming in next turn, so we kind of want to deal with this as fast as we can. I'm going to actually just come in here. And I say let's throw our weight around a little bit. I'm okay stomping if I need to. Let's go for a shot here. That's fine. But I'm going to move this till we're in like optimal range. Let's go into like the 80 there. That's fine. And back here, let's see. I guess we still maybe need to finish that off a tad. Optimal range blocked. Okay, here's what we'll do. We're going to start moving way over here. And I'm okay being in the open. And we'll start attacking like pretty much as soon as we leave here. That's fine. And now we can start playing with the heat dissipation. So I can push this out to about there. And then let's see if I can squeak another attack in on this guy. Not really. Let's see if I can play with this a bit. Start attacking a bit earlier there. Okay. Let's remove this one. I definitely don't want to overheat. Let's just let this go. You can see some carryover from the previous turn that happened there. And now we're in a good spot to finish this guy off, I think. So it looks like I even went into the following turn with my shotgun guy, unfortunately. So this is a reinforcement, and we got to deal with him now. I almost want to try. I think I might just let this move finish. This guy's going to run out here and then run back to this position. And I'm thinking, let's start attacking. I'm just going to run into that unit. This is an experiment. I haven't done this way before. So I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to play out. Let's get another attack in there. I'm going to move that as close as I can. And I should probably keep moving. I feel like strategically that would be more beneficial. As long as these attacks are happening in that optimal range, we should be cool. I do have to make sure that I'm not overlapping now and shooting at my own guy. So if I just move in the same kind of general direction here, that guy's whole movement pattern is going to be in my optimal range. And I feel like by doing that, I can just start shooting this guy. Where do I want to start shooting him? Like here, pretty much. He's going to be there. And then we'll set up another attack to here. That was actually a pretty good guess. And can I squeak another one in? No. So let's just remove that. Okay, let's let this go. Now, one thing I want to kind of deep dive myself into is being able to clearly identify if there's something showing when I've got enough firepower to get rid of him. It might just be a thing we have to kind of feel out. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we should be able to finish him here. So he's heading out in this direction. How's our damage? Like, we're totally fine. We have a little bit of damage here on the upper body and the lower body. But let's now basically run at him. And we're gonna hold up a shield. Let's see. Maybe here. And then we'll start shooting here. And I don't know if the shield generates any heat. I don't think so. And then let's adjust that one over. And then with the longbow, let's kind of just bring him in this way. And we're just going to start firing as soon as we can. And we'll get another one down here, roughly. That should be more than enough. No, notice we hit him like in the back there too, so that's probably even better. Going for all the flanks and like targeting. You can't target specific body parts, kind of like battle tech and stuff. But yeah. Oh, this guy, he actually. Do I still need to take this guy out? This guy is concussed. All right, let's do this. Let's go. Don't even move. Just take a couple of shots here. Can I move this at all? Let's get rid of this. Okay, fine. And then this guy. We'll move over a bit. Can I not target him? I think maybe he is dead. It's just this guy is still the tank. The actual tank is still fine. My bad. We didn't quite finish him off there. He's dead now though. We got him. We got him. So we'll figure out how to have a cleaner depiction of like when they're totally dead. Okay, so this is how the salvaging works. Sites can store equipment and resources that can be recovered at no cost. So some of these things we're getting like supplies here. Enemy units can also yield loot. Recovering them cost points from your salvage budget, which is up here. This weapon is worth recovering. Left click here to take it. Okay. Recovering parts will use up your salvage budget, with destroyed parts costing more to recover. But not everything is worth recovering. A lower cost option is to scrap a part for resources instead. After the budget is allocated, it's time to deploy the salvage crews. Click here once you've satisfied with your picks. So, what I'm thinking is, like, we're gonna recover this thing because it's telling us to. But you can also go up to the whole mech itself, I realized, and you can say, I want to recover all of this. We can't because we don't have the budget. But if I say go dismantle everything, but we've manually selected this actually fits within our budget. So I think that makes sense. We're getting this shred shotgun and the supplies at no cost. So I think this is a fair way to do it. The other option is to just abandon stuff, but I feel like we might as well break it down if it's in the budget. And let's rock and roll. Start the salvage. So So our base of operations, the crew discovers an enormous, heavily fortified vehicle in the base. Inside, there's ample space to accommodate pilots and crew, complete with a bay to house mechs. It's creaky from disuse, but still otherwise intact. You run your hand along the surface of its enormous tire treads, and at your side, an engineer breathes in awe. Never thought I'd see one of these in person. What a find. With this mobile base, you'll be able to take the fight out onto the road, striking the enemy when they don't expect it, and even outfitting your mechs out in the field. This will take your campaign a long, long way. Mech customization is here. Here we go. So right now we have these two units, the longbow and the protector, and we can inspect every mech in our roster here. Edit this, we can change the equipment of our units. We can change the name, inspect and swap out individual parts. We picked up new primary weapons after that fight. Navigate to the primary weapon slot to inspect and install one. Now you see these ones here. This is essentially the level of that different piece of equipment, and you want to be improving these as you go. This is your currently equipped weapon. You can hover over details in the window to see detailed explanations. So for those that care, like, take a read through this stuff as I hover over it. It talks about your optimal range. It talks about how your scatter is impacted. I think at a glance, most of you will understand how this stuff works. The colors here indicate rarity and how uncommon things are. Equipment of higher rarity includes more and higher quality perks and can include unlocked subsystem slots, enabling deeper customization. So we're just like scratching the surface here. Now, I don't think it's going to have BattleTech levels of customization, but there is quite a bit. This talks about action duration, how long it takes for a weapon to fire. Short action durations are valuable for weapons with narrow windows of opportunity, such as shotguns, but quickly spike your heat. And it talks about what your optimal interval is, the sustainable rate this weapon can be used at. The lower bound is action duration, as attacks can't be overlapped, but the interval is usually higher to allow net zero heat accumulation. Varies depending on action duration and heat generation and weapon level and all that other stuff. What I want to point out here is the different damage types. So you have kinetic, which is your direct damage to unit integrity and the barriers that they may have. Concussion is damage taken by the pilot inside the mech itself. Too much concussive damage will knock them out, and then they can't do anything, which is pretty solid, I think. Useful to ensure that enemy units are intact for salvage. So if you want to try and salvage a specific unit out there, we want to use more of our concussion-based weapons, of which right now is this assault rifle. And then the impact, damage to structures, so it's useful for destroying covers and things like that, which is pretty cool. We've got shots, we got mass, we have heat generation, and we have projectile speed, okay? So now we're going to go here. We can filter this as we get more. We're going to replace this with the burst rifle. Hover over a weapon to view the stat changes. New weapons have a higher level. Keep your mechs updated to face stronger enemies as damage is scaled with the level. Equip a new weapon by double-clicking it or long pressing in the list. So here, if you look at the action, second, and hit stuff and the damage type, you can see that these are improvements compared to what we currently have equipped. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, note how the stats and average level of your unit have increased. Consider the unit's overall performance when refitting. A weapon's power might have trade-offs in weight and speed, so something to keep in mind up here. Yeah, okay. Once you're done exploring unit customization, click here to return to the base. From there, you can return to the overworld. So for me, I think right now, just to keep us all on the same page, we're going to call this guy, this mech, we're calling the mech Shooty, okay? You can change the picture of these roles, but just so that it's clear for us. And he is going to be what? What do we want to change him to kind of look like color-wise? What would we do like an assault person in XCOM? That's kind of what I would like to do theming-wise. I think just like the general red that he already is pretty good. But if we just go all in here, just so that at a glance, it's really easy. It looks like I can just customize these categories and then everything gets applied. We can maybe change up what the weapons look like just to give it a little bit of contrast. Oh, and even here, full body, I can just click this and it will do everything. That's kind of cool. But it looks like it's going to change the gun, so I won't do that. So that's Shooty, okay? We're cool with Shooty for now. Protector, I think that's fine. This is our shotgun shield carrying role. And we're going to do this guy in maybe like maybe we'll do like a yellow kind of thing here. But primary weapon we'll do red, so like an opposite. Secondary weapon is that shield. Let's maybe do this in like a black. I think that's neat. We can change up our look here too. Yeah, neat. Okay, cool. And he's got the little shield icon here, so I'm fine with that. But we can change these names too as we go. Oh, did I change his... No, we're good. Kind of looks like not black there. Can I get like a darker black, perhaps? Ooh, that's cool. I actually really like that. Okay, let's back out. What I will do, actually, with Protector is... I don't want to customize him. I want to give him that other shotgun that we got. So if we compare this, damage is up quite a bit. But not concussion. It's just our kinetic damage improved. It also is dropping our mass, which is good. So let's take this. Throw that on. We don't have anything else in the parts, which is something we'll have to keep an eye on. Okay, so what else should we do here? We've looked at units. We could look at pilots. So this here is their health, and you want them to be as high as possible. There's concussion points, which... if they cross that threshold, then they can become knocked out, which is really bad, obviously. Now, if we look at somebody like Sierra, we can edit this, and you can change like how they look. You can change what their face looks like. There's a lot of variability here. They really, as far as I know, only show up in this bottom left corner. But there is enough to say, like, add some personality. You know what I mean? So if you guys want to be one of my pilots, let me know, and we can, I'll throw you in there for sure. Okay. But I don't think, like, they have personalities. They have some stats that you can see. This one says they're an excellent marksman, one of the few survivors of the Brigade bombing, owing to a chance assignment to a lookout post away from the base. So, like, that's cool that it says it's an excellent marksman, but I don't see anywhere if there's actual stats or if that's just flavor text, right? Because I can go in and change this, right? Like, we can do our own backstories and stuff, a la XCOM. So I don't think that actually matters. Okay, looked at units. Here's a quick look at our current inventory. We can come in and, like, shred this stuff, but I'm not going to do any of that right now. If we look, I guess, to the world, that's fine. We could recruit pilots while we're here. We could rest and resupply. While the base stops to resupply, the crew will get some well-deserved rest. The base will be busy for 10 hours' time. The base can't be occupied with another task. Liquid fix and energy reserves will be fully replenished. Pilot fatigue resets, but I think we're fine there. Liquid fix is a repair resource used in the overworld or taken into combat by units with barrier armor. This is showing here, like, our roster stats, shooty stats, protector stats. It says if they're combat ready, what they're wearing. Very cool. Shows our pilot count here. So, yeah, let's just carry on to the base. Incoming message from Home Guard, boss. A pilot calls you, already breathless with the news. They've intercepted a call from civilians seeking aid, and we can get in there faster than the army. Further details reveal that enemy troops commandeered a nearby village and availed themselves of the area's resources. One brave villager managed to get a hold of a radio and send a message. She'd heard enemy soldiers murmuring about guerrilla fighters in the area and took her chance. We got to help him out before things get worse. Continue. Your pilot's right. There's only one option. Okay. So, we need to liberate that village, if possible. We can speed up time a little bit here. Now, over time, we're going to learn, like, if we're hovering on this, it says it's level 1, TR 62, and I'm guessing that's like a threat thing, or I guess maybe the level, because we're showing a level of 52. Average level and threat rating of your top 4 units against the ratings of enemy garrisons to make an informed decision before combat. So 52 versus 62, they're going to be a little bit higher level. It's something we got to consider, but we don't really have any other options. I can't get a mech or anything yet, so we're going to have to wait for that. And we'll just get to it. Okay. We can't go in there guns blazing as usual, a pilot says to another. This isn't a base or a battlefield. These are people's homes. Now, this throws another little wrench into the battlefield because you don't want to destroy civilian buildings. It brings up a list of things to contend with. It doesn't matter if you liberate the civilians if they have nowhere to live after the smoke clears. Now comes the test of all your strategizing and training. Suit up. Make battle preparations with your squad. Mobile base can scan the site in advance. You can customize your squad before battle based on the available intel. Carefully inspect the key aspects of the mission, enemy composition, and relative strength of your squad before deploying. So it's saying we're approaching a civilian outpost. They're dug in like ticks. Bait the enemies to bring them out of cover. Then use indirect fire weapons. A chime rings out. You can destroy certain alarm locations on this map to prevent enemy reinforcements from detecting and deploying, which would be great. Threat is 62. Mix of reserve troops led by oddball elite specialists. What they lack in skill and experience, they make up for in sheer number. They're already here. Enemies are ready to immediately engage, and they've brought backup, so there's reinforcements on the perimeter and may deploy during battle. So pretty cool. Lots of detail here. Holotable lets you preview the terrain, unit positions, and key locations. And then here's our pilots. You can select how many units can be deployed and decide which mechs and pilots to send out. Click squad and deploy when you're ready to proceed. So what we can do is we could swap in like these two, like so. And I don't know what this link is showing. I think it's just showing that they're in a mech, as far as I can tell. And that's fine. This, I'm not sure how to read just yet. Maybe these are enemy locations. We're just gonna go in there and hope for the best. Squad. So here's our squad. We got 2 people right now. Hopefully we find an extra one soon. But as you can see, we can swap in the pilots to any mech. I don't think there's any benefit to who's in which mech yet. Maybe that changes too. I'd be excited to see that. But once we click deploy, we're in there. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching the first episode. If you want to see more, please let me know. I'm expecting this to get a lot more intense. We'll be able to move through quicker as well as we have to analyze fewer things, but I wanted us all to be on the same page, whereas if you're not playing yourself, you can watch it and understand everything that we're going to be talking about. So yeah, thank you so much. If you guys could like the video, that would help me a lot. I hope you appreciate the content. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.